One person is confirmed dead and multiple others injured after Singapore Airlines passenger jet made an emergency landing in Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport. In a Facebook post, the airline confirmed that there is one fatality along with injuries on board. The Boeing plane was carrying 211 passengers and 18 crew. Singapore Airlines added it will provide all possible assistance to passengers and crew and is sending a team to Bangkok to provide any additional assistance. Authorities at Bangkok's airport says a medical team and relevant authorities are on site. And more, we're joined by our correspondent Success Sambat and our Bangkok bureau and May Wong, who is standing by at the Samiti Sri Karin Hospital in the Thai capital. Let's first bring in Success. Success, what is the latest on the ground?
Now, shortly before we came on air, we have received a statement by both airports of Thailand, that is the operator of Suvarnabhumi Airport, and also the Transport Minister of Thailand, Surya Chungrunkit. And both, they are essentially saying the same, that at about 3:35 p.m. local time, that is about an hour behind Singapore, the airport in Suvarnabhumi Airport received an emergency call by Singapore Airlines flight SQ321, saying that they have hit air turbulence, and shortly thereafter, about half an hour later, they made this unscheduled emergency landing. Now, it was supposed to be a regular intercontinental flight from London Heathrow to Singapore Changi Airport, but because they have hit air turbulences, that is why they have made this emergency landing. Security services were swiftly on the ground and have tended to the injured people. Now, according to Singapore Airlines, as you have mentioned before, one person has been confirmed killed in this incident and several people injured. We do not have an exact confirmed number of injured yet. According to local Thai media reports, the number is at 30. But also there will be a plane from Singapore, from Changi Airport, to pick up the rest of the passengers that were on this flight, about the 211 passengers that were in total on board. This plane will pick up the rest later this evening to fly them to their final destination in Changi Airport in Singapore. Now, what has exactly caused this air turbulence, we do not know yet, but flight tracking data suggests that it had a steep drop up about 60,000 feet of altitude within a short period of time. That is the only data set that we have right now. It obviously, of course, doesn't explain the whole situation and the whole incident itself, but we have also received, CNA has also received pictures from readers and on social media as well, showing basically the extent of the situation on board. The pictures show all kinds of food trays strewn across the plane on the ground, the oxygen mask, of course, falling from the overhead compartments, and the passengers strapped into the seats looking very distressed, as some of you might imagine. But of course, at this point, we do not know the full extent of this incident yet. We only know that at least one person has been killed in this emergency landing that was caused by air turbulence.
Thanks for that, Success. May, now you are at the hospital where passengers are being treated. As Success mentioned, no exact figures, but Thai media saying about 30 passengers being treated for injuries. What is the situation like where you are, where they are being treated?
Well, over here at the hospital, it's clear that information is still very much trickling in. The numbers are still fluctuating very significantly, so we cannot confirm until the hospital actually issues a statement, which we're not sure when. You can see the flurry of activities right behind me. This is the lobby of the Samit Diwet Hospital here, where the victims as well as, unfortunately, the fatalities are expected to be sent over here. Earlier, I've already witnessed about 10 ambulances escorted by the police outriders. They have transported patients over here to the hospital. Unfortunately, we are unable to see the patients simply because they were escorted to another entry for emergency entrances. But here now, it's clearly a sign to show you that they may also have to drop drop off the victims of the air incident over here simply because the emergency entrance right now may be a little backed up. I'm just going to turn around and also show you that this is the entrance to the hospital here. We unfortunately don't have any word on the seriousness of the injuries, but when you talk about an air turbulence incident, we're talking about the fact that if you are unbelted when you are seated, then if there is an air pocket that the plane hits, you will end up hitting the roof of the airplane. I've also spoken to an airline analyst who told me that severe turbulences are not uncommon. In fact, they're very common until you hear fatalities or severe injuries. Only then will they be reported in the news. Now, talking about the Boeing 777-300ER, the plane that was actually involved in this particular incident, I've also checked with analysts, and they told me that in fact this plane is a reputable plane. This Boeing plane is actually a reliable, a trustworthy plane, particularly for long-haul flights, and it's only about maybe 10 to 15 years old. So in terms of the ability of the plane, there's no issue about that. But now, obviously, we need to wait for investigations to figure out exactly what happened, who the fatalities are as well, and what extent of the injuries have the victims suffered. Now, I've tried asking the hospital, I've tried asking the airport authorities what nationalities are on board the plane and who are these injured victims of that are being sent to the hospital. Unfortunately, they are saying that they're not revealing the identities or the nationalities at this stage. But you can just imagine a flight from Singapore to London, a multitude of nationalities can be expected. You can expect Singaporeans, particularly also from the Asian countries, and also very much so from the Western nations as well. So we are keeping an eye on this, and we will update you as soon as we get new information coming up from either the hospital or the airports involved.